Welcome back everybody, it's DestinysJesus here. Today we've got another video on our 3-level series. We're going to be looking at solo endgames to help you guys prepare for all the solo tourneys coming up. Really appreciate the support in the last video. Make sure to watch this full video out. We're going to be looking at games from a guy who just swapped keyboard and mouse in our beginner category, a decent level mechanical player but kind of struggles with game sense and knowing what to do in different situations, and then a full game from Letshe, the controller god, just stomping the lobby. I'm going to be breaking down what he did really well as well as fixing a couple mistakes with the other guys. I don't really like that though, like, this is always my philosophy, but like, if you're here, right, all you need to do technically is just walk and walk into zone, right? It's not that hard. That's like 100 meters in game, right? Really not hard. Let's say your max distance like up here, right? Kind of, you know what I mean, right? Up on the top left kind of zone, and you've got to go that long distance. Maybe then, yeah, you'd probably have to rotate early. You might have to pre-rotate. You might have to go like midway and then stop, right? But if you've got a very short distance to rotate, there's literally no need to rotate early because it just gets you focused from people behind you. And if he was to build that, people would mirror his rotate. You don't really want to be the guy like building a rotate for other people to mirror on like a close fourth rotate like that. It just makes no sense to me to rotate that early when he could literally just do what this kid's going to do, right? And just walk in late and then get in for free. Alright, coming into Letshe's game, the first thing you're going to notice is the fact that he's always looking for a pick towards late game, right? Getting a pick now will basically camp your mats and give you extra mats to build into zone. Let's spot how he tries to get this pick. He gets that crack there, gets the cone on the guy, boxes him like a fish, and that's a free kill.
You holding him? Are you stupid, man? He has to rotate.
This is nice. You see how Letshe realizes the guy below him is holding this other guy? Which probably means that the guy has some kind of movement to get, probably like most likely this kind of zone, a pad.
I guess. That's why he's holding him.
Exactly. Being able to realize like when somebody's gonna use movement for you and then being able to take it as well for free. Okay. So useful in solos. It's a good landing spot. He already scouted it earlier, so he has a nice landing spot. He's also on the highest elevation possible up top there. Also, one thing he hasn't done is he didn't scout like his rotate at all, right? He was just kind of crash padding like this, and he didn't mark zone. You need to mark edge zone normally. I know it's not the most stat game, right? But you still need to mark edge zone and make sure that you don't waste mats coming in. Because here he should have reboxed. He's got like 20-something seconds to come into zone, and he does it really in like an inefficient way where he goes like wide, right? Right. He goes wide. He doesn't really go towards zone. He thinks he's in, and then now he's gonna have to waste a lot of mats. See, now again, the same kind of concept, right? He doesn't need to early rotate this distance here. He may as well wait for zone to start moving, wait for all these people on this back end to go. And then when these people are either flying in or like crash pad or just regular rotating in, he can just rotate into free, right? Now he gets above the others as well. You see how free this rotate is now, right? Because everybody's focusing on the people on the back end up here. He literally just takes time for free. This is good. Going back through his old top. Still needs to mark and scout zone. Like he's not scouting at all for some reason. Because it's especially because it's pulling against all builds. Like realistically, like let's say it went like down here or up here, right? He wouldn't need to scout it that much because it's kind of just pulling into empty space, right? Like it's kind of granted he's just going to pad and land some of these builds, right? But here it's pulling back into all the old builds. He needs to get his cone and scout. We'll just look. This is good. Should have taken a pause and also stick to the left. Like you need to stick to an edge when you're trying to tarp a zone. I would say stick to the south edge here because he's already on the south side, right? There's no point in him trying to go towards the middle of zone because then it's just going to get a little more cluttered. He's more likely to get held, right? Also note how Letshe, instead of rotating early towards this zone, he just sits here and patiently waits for a launch pad on the beginning of first moving, and he spends this whole time just going for shots on opponents. He's gone to a really high elevation, able to get free shots on people, and also results in a free kill.
Oh, that's a free kill.
He does the exact same thing when recycling the pad on first moving here. He knows there's people near him, so he just waits in his cone patiently. Gets it, only takes one to get storm flat. Also look at his landing spot here. He comes in and he just deliberately aims for quite a high level. Stops the hard mats as he comes in and he gets his heals off. A lot of players make this mistake, right, where they always try hard to stay at like front side of the zone rather than just playing patient and just chilling for a little bit and letting the zone overtake them and then rotate in. Now zone's overtaken him a little bit. He still kind of keeps towards front side with a nice stair top, save mats. Gets in just on the edge and then looks for an opportunity to hold here. Decent rotate. I'm talking bro. Where this kid just going? Nice, bro. That refresh was so well timed.
Wow. Oh my god.
That timing, getting into like the ender zone very quickly, nearly results in a kill there. Just misses out. And this is where he starts playing the backside of Storm, right? Whenever you're playing the backside of Storm, you don't want to rush forward and like go too quickly, right? You can just take your time, choose a really good elevation to come in. Now he gets towards front side here. He can waste a little bit more of his mats, be a little more like greedy with how he spends all his mats. Gets into zone here, and he's going to immediately start looking for a pick opportunity. Puts low ground on backside. It's a free kill there, just from having the P90 and swap now. This. You're really greedy for that kill. This is something I talk about when I'm like working with people running in the main game, is your priority list, right? In this meta, I'd say your priority list has to be, so the priority list is like what you need to pick up first from storms. So first is fish, right, obviously. If you see fish on the form in any form, like you need to pick them up straight away just because they allow you to stay in storm, right? And also if you pick up, let's say one floppy, you know, I don't really have time to sit in storm and loot and upgrade and like swap my guns out, right? It kind of just gives you an estimate on how much time you can spend in storm. And obviously fish are just really useful for like making flank plays as well, right? And then number 2 is your mats, right? Like he missed half the mats on the first jump in, which is a big issue where, and then 3, I'd say in this meta, the second, like third most important thing is any kind of movement, right? Maybe you could include, I'm really bad at writing, maybe you could include peppers in that, right? Like peppers might be important enough. And then 4th would probably be like any kind of power weapons or something like that. I say power weapons, like anything like an upgrade as well, you could class into that. That's a really bad drawing. But movement would also cover the mythic stuff as well, like mythic hits, charge, shockwave thing, right? Or the grapple, or the crash pads. So probably first priority is the floppers, then the mats, because you can kind of gauge how long you can spend in storm after you get the mats, and then the crash pads. It's like he misses so much stuff here, right? And he also comes out of storm on 40 HP, which would have been diverted if he maybe just got one flopper there. Yeah, that's quite lucky he gets that pick. Get the grapple. But like you see the importance of the checklist, right? Because this guy's just like fumbling about, doing a bunch of random things, looting and stuff, right? Like your shield should never really be on your checklist in game. Like you don't need to be picking up shield, right? Yeah, he messed up his height play. He probably should have taken a bit more time with it. That's nice. Nice level down. Yeah, he wins this game. He should have won that. He was playing way too close on the floor, you see. Like he's trying to peek this guy rather than letting the guy peek him. Like here, like he's baiting a mini and then holding a really tight angle over the top of him. And he's also on top of the guy's floor. Like he needs to play back in storm a lot more. He kind of needs an impact in a second, right? Like here, he kind of needs an impact, right? Or he should maybe just go low and look for that impact kill rather than doing this. I don't like this. He's always just second height, like trying to contest height. And that would have been nice, but he doesn't have the height awareness. And he does here, yeah. So Letche's boxed up, kind of chilling at this point. This is coming to the final moving zone. So he kind of has to make a desperate play. He needs a refresh pretty bad, so he spots this opportunity for mats on low ground.
You better win.
Gets all these mats, and he gets the shotgun off that. And that's when the floppers start coming in. You can see how Letshe perfectly tracks. So now there's 3 people left, right? He knows exactly where one of them is, the guy shooting. And you can assume the other one's probably on high ground, just based on the builds up there. So look what he does to react to that. He gets the beam on this guy, he gets taken out, and he immediately reacts and just goes for high ground after he pops his one flop. Goes straight up to high.
Oh my god, wait, Letshe's bullying.
And gets the free win off that.
Free win, boy.
Keeping track of how many people are left is really, really important because he basically gets a free win just because he realized, oh, the guy got low, got stolen, 1v1 situation. I'm just going to build up for height and then play the angle downwards. Well played. I'm going to be doing these videos a lot more frequently live on my Twitch channel if you don't want to miss anything. Make sure to leave a follow over there. Subscribe if you're new, since I know like 50% of you aren't subscribed. And leave a like if you enjoy the content.